Hey everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Today we are finishing off the last three. Well, not finishing off. We're doing the last three stages of Ogryn, but actually, I do have a 3-star clear of stage 21, and I used a rare champion. No jokes. I used a rare champion. So here we go. Let me actually speed this thing up. It didn't take too long. Um, and again, I'm not trying to bullshit you or anything. Like right from the start, I'm using Vizug, and Vizug is really important, right? So this is not an accessible team, really, but I think it's just really interesting that a rare is actually became really important, and Gerda really, really good as well. So yeah, we'll see when we go. But this first stage, sorry, let me speed it up a little bit more. We'll blitz through these. I did this condition. I didn't do the stage 21 properly. I gave it a couple of goes, but it's pretty tough. I think I maybe can do it. But we're gonna need to do some re-gearing, and I just wasn't really in the mood. I did do this last night, right after the Orcs extravaganza, and well, you guys saw the end of the Orcs video. I mean, even this morning, like I just went out for a walk. I'm like hot. I'm sweaty. I actually feel a little bit hungover. I went out for a walk for some fresh air. Got a coffee. I'm like, oh my lord, I'm an absolute shambles. It's really bad. It's really bad. But yeah, we're coming here. Arbiter actually resisted, but it's probably okay. Um, because I think oh yeah, we got a stun with it. It wouldn't really have mattered anyway. We did get a stun right there though, and then Blizzard pumping out some stuff. So this stage, for me was quite easy. So what I had to do was, the trick to that one, the trick to that one there was Gergo. Gergo is also really essential for actually, I think all of these stages. He's like, he's probably the best champion I have in the faction, and he's 5-star, so he's been exceptionally key. He is super, super, super important to all of my strategies here. But what we basically did was we would open with his freeze on wave 1, but then we would save his AoE decreased defense and nuke. And what we can do, especially if you got Blizzard as well, is you could, if you have Blizzard faster than I didn't do it here, but you could have them speed tuned if you need to. So you could freeze with Gergo, so you stop the enemies for a turn, gives you a chance to build up some AoE poisons. Gerda puts out 2, Stock puts out a couple. If you get out a burn, you get some more as well. And you could sort of finagle your way through. You could use like provoke sets, toxic sets, stun sets, anything like that to get a few extra debuffs out. Freeze with Gergo, then just A1 somebody. Do whatever with Blizzard. You could use Brimstone as well. That could help too. Then freeze with Blizzard, and then Gergo does his decreased defense nuke, and you use the Gergo big nuke to actually kill them. So yeah, that I didn't need to use Blizzard. I think I used Blizzard just to crowd control a second wave. But yeah, that was sort of the idea there, was we build up all the debuffs and we save Gergo's big AoE attack for, yeah. So that's what we did. This one, keep everyone above 75% HP. I came close actually to doing this. So we can, as you can see right there, Gergo is a rather squishy champion. So he's below 75% HP on wave one, which is quite funny. But I've got a very specific strategy for this as well. I'm kind of sad I didn't record these live because I did want to break it down. But this is the specific strat, which is a fast Gerda in 4-piece stone skin. Why? Again, people probably don't even know what Gerda does, right? But Gerda, not only does she put out AoE poisons on her A3, but she also removes some debuffs from your team. So a fast Gerda in stone skin is actually going to remove the block active skills from Hegemon. So she'll protect you from the Hegemon, which is good because this faction, at least for me, I don't know, I think just in general, really lacks good support. So here we go. Look at this. Bam. Block active skills gone. And she also pushes their turn meter back a little bit. I think just 6% or something. Yeah, which is really cool. And then we come in and we freeze them. And bada bing, bada boom. We just sort of chain the freezes and we kill them off with poisons with this particular team. Again, you could do this without Vizug, but it's going to be a lot harder. You're going to have a different aura. You probably need to use like Skrank for the burn to get the extra stuff out of stock, or just use someone else. This wave is tough. So So interesting. I actually see right there that we didn't double hit. Uh, mm. So this one is really tough. I think I did do this on the test server. What I think we need to do is to actually maybe open with Gerda's A2 for the weaken. I didn't do it in this run, but I'm just walking you through how we get through this wave too. I think for this wave, we need to one-shot them with Gergo. I think it's the only way. So we would use Gerda's A2 for weaken. And then we need to do Gergo's freeze and then AoE decrease defense. And he needs to have enough damage, I think, to one-shot Ancora. And he doesn't need to one-shot Narcissus, but he needs to. We just need to kill Ancora. Ancora must die because otherwise she'll remove all the freezes from everybody. So long as she's dead, we can then come in with Blizzard and we can freeze them and then we can wear them down. So it's doable. And you can see this wave is kind of is going to be tough as well, but with some stun set luck and freezes and just pumping it out, I think we'll be fine. So there you go. That's stage 20. I'm actually pretty confident about that. It's just going to be getting like giga gear on Gergo because number one, he needs to be faster than the waves. So I'll probably come back and we're gonna obviously we need to come back to many Ogryn stages. It's gonna be a lot more chill. I sort of regret the theme of I don't know. It's been fun, but I do slightly regret the theme of these. See, stage 21 is nasty. Gergo essential. I don't know how we would do this without Gergo. You'll see me figure it out. I actually went and checked my notes, believe it or not, because we have on hellhades.com. We have all of the notes for how we beat these stages. I did beat this one on the test server, but I couldn't remember exactly what I did. So I went back and checked. I was like, I'm pretty sure I did beat this. So I actually used, hilariously, it's the first time ever in this series. I've been trying to just do this sort of blind again because I find it interesting to compare what I've done after I've forgotten what I originally did, or mostly forgot, and so on. So you can see we're sort of getting wrecked here. But there is a simple solution, which is a faster Gergo. Anyway, for stage 20, I think we just need to have Gergo in Giga gear, just loads of attack, loads of crit damage, enough speed to go first, enough accuracy to place his stuff. We just need to rebuild him to one-shot wave 2, and I think we'll be good. And I think we can just get some good luck on the final wave with stun sets and whatnot, and I think we can get through. This is the part of the video where I actually went and I checked my notes. But luckily, this is the green boss, which is pretty easy. How do you deal with the green boss? Team debuff removal. So the green boss basically puts a bunch of poisons and burns on you. He removes your buffs, and he activates those things when he hits you. He also hits pretty hard. So you need debuff removal, preferably protected block debuffs. And you need some healing as well. So we're using Vizug. If you don't have Vizug, obviously you're going to have to replace it with somebody else. But you'll see. I don't think we bring in the rare the first time. And I realized I just need him to be faster. So we gave him a 6-star speed glyph. Because, fuck it, right? But again, these waves are quite easy for us. Here, again, important tech. We're going to freeze them with Gergo. We could alternatively freeze with Blizzard. That's fine as well, but we just want to crowd control this wave, and we kill them with the poisons and the burns. Again, you can use Gerda and stock, or 2 Gerdas and 2 stocks or something. We debuff them, but here we go. This is the tech. So we went through it very quickly. Actually, we're going to see it again. The tech is pretty simple. Our fastest champion is Vizug, who is in a stun set. He comes in with the stun, and he must trigger a stun on one of the 4 characters. He physically can't place it on Jingwan. He's immune. But you must trigger stun on one of the other 4, which will trigger the Jingwan passive. And then Gergo must be fast enough to go before, the entire enemy team. And basically what we do, here we can see, by the way, Vizug. Vizug will cleanse the debuffs and heal us a lot, and so will Gerda. And Stock will also provide a lot of healing. We could actually time Stock's A3 for after the boss does his buff removal if we wanted. I didn't need to, but you could. But yeah, that wave, the Jingwan wave, it's really nasty. But if you trigger the Jingwan passive with a fast stun set champion, and then you've got a very fast Gergo, Gergo can then remove the block debuffs and AoE freeze everyone. And in fact, as you saw in this run, Gergo actually almost kills everyone because then he freezes them, he places decreased defense, he hits really hard. But here he is, the rare champion, Gear Grinder. He's coming in, boys. We're bringing in Gear. And I was thinking, Vrask, who did he make it? Wow. I don't remember if we used Vrask in our kill for the Orc stage 21, but he was certainly in contention if we didn't use him. But I was like, let's just take Vrask gear. This is actually a bad decision. We should have given him like a bolster set or something, man. But and we need to do his masteries. But I took out Blizzar. Yeah, Blizzar comes out. Gear Grinder goes in. What's Blizzar doing for the boss? He can't freeze the boss. We don't need him for the waves because we've got Gurgo. We have our tech. You're going to see the tech here with Gurgo. We're bringing in Gear Grinder, the first rare, probably the only rare we're going to use for stage 21. What is the idea here? The idea is simply, again, as I mentioned, Gurgo's very squishy, and I've got a 5-star Gurgo. Gurgo needs crazy speed, crazy accuracy, crazy attack, crazy crit damage. He needs crazy everything. Here, I think we failed. Maybe not. Maybe we do actually do enough damage because he can't remove the Vizug poison. No, never mind. We failed. So we do need to kill them. So Gurgo needs absolutely bonkers gear. But guess what? If you're building tons of attack, speed, 100% crit rate, tons of accuracy, tons of crit damage, damage relics, damage sets, guess what you don't have? You don't have any HP defense. You're going to die. Very hard to keep him alive. He's just a squishy champion in general. So, yeah, that's what we did. Here we go. So here's a proper showing of the Gurgo tech. There we are. We remove all their stuff. We freeze them. And look at this. It's beautiful. They're also just going to die from the poisons and the burns. We can heal up a little bit with Gear Grinder. Gurgo dies, no problem. But yeah, as you can see, Vizug does a monstrous amount of healing. It's actually kind of disgusting, yeah. And we're able to kill them. We can revive Gurgo and go into the wave just clean. So, yeah, Gear Grinder. Obviously, there is the Void Legendary who revives, who's way better, but I don't have him. And I really think they need to add more champions to this faction, because this poor fact. But look at the healing from Vizug. It's just crazy. So, yeah. That's the main thing you need to replace with Vizug. So you could replace him with, I don't have him. He's the red ogre who gives you lots of healing and like some ally protection, and he removes debuffs. But you basically need lots of heal. This fight's super easy. In fact, you don't even need that much healing. Stock will provide enough healing, I think, with those heals. But like the boss smacks you, you could bring in decreased attack, some ally protectors, anything to sort of keep you alive. But yeah, it's just really hard to keep Gurgo alive at this point. You could put stock in 9-piece protection, or your ally protector, whoever you use, you could put them in 9-piece protection to keep you alive. Again, we're killing the boss very quickly with poisons, but the reality is we've got 200 turn counts to do this. We can do this a hell of a lot slower. We're not in any rush for this boss. This boss is very easy. So compare this to the purple boss from the Orcs, which had me literally almost having a mental breakdown. This boss is fine. This one is very easy, and we're doing it without block debuffs. You add in someone with, I don't think there is anyone. Hang on, I need to open the game. Hang on. All right, we're opening the game so we can see all of the strats. But one thing to note about this as well is you obviously take more damage, a lot more if you don't have souls, right? You get up to 25% damage reduction. Luckily, the 50% bonus damage you get from souls, which is, as you guys know, my favorite design choice in the game, that's not too important here because we're doing poisons, but it does mean you can see the boss, he's really clapping us. We have almost no souls here, which makes a really big difference. So if you are going to use Gear Grinder, if you're going to copy this strategy, try to get souls for these people. The good news here's good news, guys. You can buy souls with currency, right? You can save up the currency. It takes about 6 months to buy souls. So luckily, in about a year and a half, you could purchase souls for Vizug, Stock, Gerda, and Gear Grinder as well. You could do it. In fact, with a mere 2 years, in 2 years' time, in 2027, you could have all these champions 6-star, and the boss fight would be significantly easier. So, it's probably rude of me to say that it's a terrible design choice to have the souls be so punishing, because you can buy them. And in fact, if we do this for every fact, because there's 15, in 30 years, guys, you could have full teams of 6-star souls for each of the faction war hard bosses. So it's not that bad, really. I think it's actually quite reasonable. And let's say I'm exaggerating slightly. We could reduce the number by half or whatever. So let's say it only takes 15 years. Is that too long to wait? I don't think so. So there you go. You know, you just buy him over here. Just wait for the old soul merchant. You'll get there. You'll get there eventually. You know, you have a child. Celebrate for their college graduation with beating Faction Wars hard together. It will be a magical moment. And you can dedicate that day to Plarium. Thanks, Plarium. Yeah, if we come to the Ogres, you know, Gerbtuk actually might help. He can, he puts the poisons on you as well, but you're going to do more damage for the poisons, and the boss is poisoning you, and you're going to get resistance. Kind of interesting. He can remove somebody. He can heal you a lot. Bam is A1 for healing. That's definitely an interesting possibility. Karagar is the one I'm thinking of. Actually, you know, frickin' the game doesn't want to load. Jeroboam might be kind of helpful. Karagar? Hello? There we go. Karagar, pretty nice. I don't know why my taskbar is... Oh, there we go. It's gone. Good. Ally protection and strengthen. Put him in a protection set, but... Oh, he doesn't heal you. He can remove all your debuffs, though. He heals himself. Okay. But he would be a pretty strong option. In terms of good healers, this faction is really lacking. That's a bit of a problem. Even Gizmak doesn't heal. So Vizug was kind of hard carrying that. Actually, now I'm looking at it, you might be in a bit of a tough spot. Jeroboam, if you did the fusion, actually potentially very helpful. So he can turn meter boost you, increase your buffs a little bit, but he can remove all your debuffs, heal you by extra for every debuff removed, and give you a shield. His A1 can decrease skills and fill turn meter. His passive, I think the boss maybe does reduce your turn meter, but it's not too important. But Jeroboam, terrible champion, but he might be actually the Ogre's best answer to this boss if you don't have Vizug. And obviously, Bellatar would be insane, right? He's got the AoE revive. He has increased attack defense with a heal. He gives you cooldown reduction. I do feel like he deserves a bit of a buff as well, to be honest, but especially his A1 is very underwhelming when you compare it to champions like Ancora, who's a non-void, who's got the same thing. I think that would be fair. He definitely needs some buffs, but it's kind of tough. Dracul could help a bit. Gives you a shield, heals you when the shield is broken and you counterattack. He also brings increased attack defense. He can give you block damage in a 9-piece protection set to protect those buffs. He might actually be okay, but it is a bit rough. I don't think Togron heals, does he? I know he does give you continuous heal, but you have to be low on health. Seems kind of dodgy. He can increase your max HP. Diamant with his buff, he does some healing on his A1. A little bit dodgy. Grunch, actually an amazing budget option. Full remove debuffs from allies and puts a continuous heal on every ally. Grunch might actually be kind of legit. Now, he's not really doing anything much else, but he could actually be kind of helpful there. Ogryn, not bad. He's a good replacement as well for the old Vizug, right? Put out some poisons and a continuous heal. Single target heal with a debuff removal, some poisons A1, speed in all battles aura. He's a very good alternative to Vizug. I'm probably actually, when we go back to stage 17, no weak hits. I think because Gerda doesn't actually hit, we're probably going to do like Gerda with Ogryn and maybe try something else as well. I'm not sure what else we will do, but that might actually work. I do think Man-Eater, even in 9-piece protection, could be potentially something. Grunch does some healing. There are options, but they're not great. But like you could see, I mean, Ugo, of course, always does a nice bit of healing, but I don't know if it's enough, really. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to survive. But yeah, for me, oh, sorry, the sun's coming in. Vizug, this was clutch, right? He heals all allies by 5% of his max HP and up to an additional 50% of his max HP. For every enemy debuff has its duration increased, and ally debuffs have their duration decreased. And he is decreasing ally debuffs by 2 turns. So this move, it's a 3-turn cooldown. This move will basically remove all of the poisons and burns from your team and give you a massive heal. So he is insanely good. And that's the like, he's also doing great damage. That's fine. Honestly, it's not too important for the boss. The main thing he's doing for the boss that you need to replace is the healing. That is really important. Though again, hopefully you've got some souls so you're not quite so squishy. But that's the concept with him and why he is so good. Now, one thing to watch out for. The boss, he's got a chance to activate all poisons and burns on a target when they attack him. It didn't happen to me in the video, but on the test server, it did happen. That Vizug went in with this A3, he hits the boss, and then all of the poisons and burns on Vizug activated, and he died before he could reduce the duration. So your Vizug might need. I got away with it. We were fine. I think with the extra healing, we were fine. But you do need to watch out for it. If your Vizug is like at half HP or something, he might simply kill himself with hitting the boss if he's got those debuffs on him. So you might need high resistance on your Vizug. Or you might need someone to cleanse some debuffs off him. You might need at one of like Jeroboam or whatever. But yeah, hopefully this is some help to you. Like I said, this is very much a faction unity defined team, but you really don't need the damage, right? We've got over 100 turns to spare. We could have cleared this on, this is like stage 7 turn count. We're killing this incredibly fast. But the Gurgo tech for wave 2 is you could use any AoE damage dealer. It doesn't have to be Vizug and stun set. Any fast damage dealer to trigger the Jingwan passive, then Gurgo blows up the wave. Just save Gurgo's stuff, and you're good, and you need an AoE attack. And yeah, then lots of healing. And like I said, Gerda, surprisingly great. And Stock is surprisingly great as well. Like, seriously, don't underestimate them. They're doing plenty of damage, but you can remove buffs from enemies as well, which is great. You could have Gerda come in and remove the block debuffs from the Jingwan if you need to. And then have, like, if you don't have, let's say you don't have Gurgo, you could have, it's very difficult. You need crazy speed, but you could have Gerda come in, remove the block debuffs, and then have Blizzar come in and AoE freeze that wave too. The reason you need crazy speed is because of Tetsuya. He gains, I think he's very, very fast. You can check the stages tool. He's crazy fast, but he gains 15% turn meter when an enemy takes a turn. So you would need like probably like 350 speed or something, like something stupid. Yeah. But it is an option. It is an option. But yeah, no, Gerda is great, right? That removing 2 random debuffs from all allies on a 3-turn cooldown, it's worth booking her for this. It's worth booking her. She's great. And she also brings the weaken if you're using direct damage to kill the boss a bit quicker and kill the waves a bit quicker too. So Gerda has been an absolute MVP. And who's the other? Oh yeah, Stock is real good as well. Again, he's putting out poisons. If they're at burn, you get 1 more poison if they're under burn. It's actually not crazy important, and the weaken's not too important either, because Gerda brings that. But he's putting out poisons, a continuous heal on you. And he can extend the poisons on his A1. And he can also activate your heals and the poisons and burns on his A2 with turn meter boost, which is really strong. So you can have him sort of burst heal your team, against the boss. Destroying their max HP is actually kind of bad. So maybe you don't want to use this. Like, you probably, against the boss, I didn't use this too much. If you don't need to activate the heals, you're better off just extending them. Because if you destroy the boss's HP, he will actually take less damage from your burns and your poisons. That's something to watch out for. But yeah, I didn't mention Shamrock. You could use Shamrock in like protection set. He does put out Revive on Death, continuous heals. And he gives you increased speed. And he gives you decreased speed. He could help against the boss as well. It would be tough, but it's doable. But yeah, I don't know. Guys, let me know. Anyone else who cleared this stage, let me know. I'd be surprised if too many of you use Gear Grinder. But hey, let me know if you're in the Gear Grinder club. Oh, let me show you the builds on these champs as well. They should be all like the recently used stuff, I think. Free gear removal is active as well. Thank God. Thank God for that. If we come to Ogres. So here we go. We had, oh no, I didn't use Bellower. We actually used only 6 champions for the final stages, which is crazy. We had Blizzar. He got put in a bolster set to try to do the 75% HP stage. Didn't quite work, but he's like this. Yeah, there's lots of ways you could build Blizzar. He does make good sense for a bolster set. Just high speed, decent HP to stop the hegemons, putting you below 75% HP, and good accuracy, and he'd be good. Shield set, just fine as well for that stage, because you're not going to take any damage. You don't need the healing, you just need the shield, and they're not going to remove it. Gear Grinder and Triple Retaliation, no, it doesn't make sense. He's giving himself a tiny continuous heal. He should really have been in like regen or something. Like, this is not a good build, but it worked. But this is categorically, this is a bad build. He should have been much faster and try and make him tankier. I gave him a demonic effigy, because why not? If someone dies, he gets some turn meter. Again, it's terrible, but there you go. But he heals everybody for their max HP. It's not much, but it's something. He should also have a blood shield and give him emergency heal. He would also be very good in survival instinct. If you don't have blood shield, he gets some turn meter when he gets a debuff, and he's obviously getting debuffs. So a few ways to build him. These are his masteries. Study this in depth. A lot of research and thought went into these masteries. Now, here's the key. If you don't have precisely 56 green scrolls, of course, as you know, the run will fail. So that's it. That's essential. We've got stock, stun, perception, pinpoint. He's in pretty darn good gear, but you need pretty darn good gear for this. This is his build. Gerda, like I said, the 4-piece fast stone skin for stage 20. That's not important past this. So she could be slow. She doesn't need to be geared this well or anything. Like, you could put her in other stuff. I do like the Tempest Sanguinis on her. Turn meter reduction is stronger because of her passive. It's so good. When an enemy receives a debuff, turn meter is decreased by 3%. Fantastic. We had Vizug. He's hard carrying, really. He's in stun. And he is the fastest champion on the team. He's got an Arachne Elixir, more damage. He doesn't have much attack. So we could probably switch this for something else. And yeah, I will say Brimstone destroys these bosses on stage 21. So you want someone with good Brimstone. I mean, my issue is that I don't want it on Gurgo. He needs Nature's Wrath to hit harder. And we're not using Blizzard, so we just need some souls, man. I need some souls for this faction. They're like, Plarium has just decided, let's not only give Nub no champions for this faction, let's give him like no souls as well. Apart from the Gurgo soul. Thank God we had that. These were his masteries. Gurgo, he's like this. Erethi Coronet, and he is coming in like this. His accuracy is a bit low. But yeah, we have to build him fast. Like, we need to get him hitting harder. We probably need him. I have him in 5-piece pinpoint right now. He's sort of an arena build, but I don't use him for arena. So we need to switch this up. What we need to do for stage 20, we need to put him in maybe Merciless or something. We need to give him some insane gear to just one-shot wave 2, which is very, very tough. Vizug actually will make a big difference there because of his passive. Allies deal more damage, 5% more damage for every burn and poison on a target. So he will do a we could even put Vizug. Now, we can't put him in 9-piece Feral. He needs to stun. He needs to stun because otherwise Gurgo won't place the freeze. Because then the Jingwan path, we need the block debuffs from Jingwan to go out first. We'll figure it out. But anyway, that was Gurgo. Like I said, he just dies against the boss, even with the 5-star like this. And he can't do much with his build because he needs to be very fast anyway. Arguably, he doesn't really need too much damage for wave 2. But I think just killing wave 2 quickly makes it a lot easier. They're very squishy, but yeah. So there we go. That is that's that. That was this. Oh, I got to record Faction Wars for today. What do we have? Skinwalker Night Rev. Okay, at least that's an easier day. But yeah, you can see for just catching up on Ogryn, we've obviously missed multiple stars on multiple stages. We need to go back to those, but at least going back to them one by one is not so bad. And obviously Orcs, we missed stars at the end, but I think a second Seer, as I talked about, will make that actually really easy. So we just probably need to wait to pull this. I mean, we'll try it when it comes back around. Dwarves, we missed one, but it's actually fine. Obviously, that will take another. We might miss some at the end. I'm actually pretty confident with Dwarves. We missed it because I had to full auto a stage while I was at a wedding. So I ran out of time. So I'm actually thinking Dwarves not too bad. Oh, you know what? Purple Boss, Skinwalker. Skinwalker can probably deal with it, though. And Purple Boss here. The Purple Bosses. These are two very strong factions, but the Purple Boss. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, that was Ogres. For me, a lot carried by Vizug, but for what has been by far my worst faction, it was actually a fairly easy stage 21. Like, we smashed the stage 21 pretty easily. I really didn't think it was too bad, but you do need Gurgo is the difference maker to just destroy wave 2. And then Vizug for healing against the boss. But I think you could probably muddle your way. I think there are strategies for muddling your way through. I do think that you could probably pull it off. I think it's not the worst stage 21 boss at all. There you go. Let me know how you found it anyway. And there we go. We've seen every stage of Ogres. Now we just got to go back and actually do the few properly that we missed. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.